with sensory sensitivity, I find that if I'm in very loud or busy environments, that I find it difficult to think. It's almost like the noises around me tend to drown out my thought process, and this can include music. So I've never been someone who really enjoys being in environments with very loud music because I find it very intrusive and because it affects my ability to think. And because I value the ability to think, I can feel at a disadvantage to other people when I'm in an environment with very loud music because I feel that my ability to formulate thoughts and responses is impaired, and so I would tend to avoid those environments as much as possible. One way that I've found to deal with the sensory sensitivity is to wear earphones in certain environments, and this sounds like a contradiction because it's music. However, it's like if it's music that I'm familiar with, it's easier for me to blank it out. And what the music does is it creates like a buffer zone between me and the environment so that the music that I choose, because I'm familiar with it, it's not going to have the same effect as if I was just taking in random sounds from my environment. I find that with sensory sensitivity that I can notice like very acute noises or changes in my environment. This could be linked to hypervigilance, which I'm not going to cover in this video, but some schizoids, due to childhood experiences, have developed hypervigilance, which means that there is a strong awareness of the environment and activities in the environment due to safety sensitivity and trying to monitor the environment for potential threats. So I'm going to notice a lot of activity in my environment and be quite tuned into that. But at the same time, because I tend to be in a detached state when I am in external environments, I'm not necessarily going to look like I'm highly tuned into my environment. There's going to be a degree of detachment there. And so I'm going to notice things without necessarily making it obvious that I'm noticing things. Similarly, like if there are like loud noises or loud people and I am feeling to some degree impacted by that, it's not going to be obvious. Like just might look quite disinterested or even like a little bit zoned out, and that's because I'm creating a degree of internal distance between what I'm experiencing and my inner sense of feeling. So it's just a way of trying to moderate the impact that the environment has on me. I generally really do much prefer silence. I don't really like to be in an environment where there's a television on in the background or music playing, especially when I'm trying to focus on other things. I can get very very distracted basically when there are a lot of noises in my environment. as I said, I can manage it if I need to. I can switch off from the environment, but it just makes everything a lot harder because it's draining my resources to block out certain incoming stimuli whilst also trying to maintain my stream of thought. Basically, I find noises in the environment to be intrusive. When I listen to music, it is for pleasure. It is going to be not very often. I don't tend to like to listen to music for pleasure often because of the fact that I find it intrusive. And so I generally use it, as I said, as a way to offset one noise for another more than just purely for pleasure. Though sometimes I do like listening to music for pleasure. I prefer music such as classical music, which doesn't have words, and so it's less intrusive and it requires less mental processing, and it can actually be quite good to create like a bass noise that can help to drown out other noises. I think that really it's words that I find most intrusive. So if I'm listening to music with lyrics, I can find it difficult not to process those lyrics. I find that I'm always looking for meaning in things, and so I'm going to analyse incoming words, whether it's coming from music or from other people. As I said, if I'm very familiar with the music, then in that way it becomes easier not to analyse it because I already know what's being said. It's more new stimuli that I find has the greatest impact on me. I find that when I'm in environments that are very noisy and I'm not using headphones to cancel out external noises I'm unfamiliar with, that I need to periodically leave the environment and find somewhere quiet where I can like shut myself away. And this might be like a restroom, or I might go outside of the building to a quiet spot. I prefer enclosed spaces, really quiet enclosed spaces, as a place, a cubicle where I can go and just breathe, think, come back to myself and reset. I've been fortunate that I can choose the environment that I operate in. So this helps me to put myself in positions that are suitable for me, and I don't have to spend a lot of time in places that I find intrusive. So, anything else? Yeah, sensory stimulation. I don't like it when people touch me. Like, even if it's just like a hand on the shoulder, something like that. I find that I'm quite sensitive to that. I can take it like it wouldn't show on my face. I think that if I see that about to happen, like someone goes to hug you or something like that, I would sort of brace myself and detach before impact so that I don't take on the full feeling of it. Like I detach from my body or dissociate, like so that I'm not really feeling it quite as much. But I will try to avoid physical contact. I think one place I don't like is like in England and in London, there's an underground system. In America, you call it subways. And there tend to be a lot of people all tightly packed into a small space on the platforms and on the tubes themselves, which is trains. And you could find yourself standing really close to other people. And it's a situation that I would be quite detached and dissociated in, like, so that I don't really feel the full impact of being close to others. But I am aware that I'm just tolerating it, and that deep down it's like something that I'm not really comfortable with. So yeah, that's my main experiences with sensory sensitivity.